Okay, this video involves Tom's iPad and specifically his access to the Lee County Library system, whereby he borrows electronic books and he reads them incessantly. So we look on the screen for an application called Overdrive, and that's Overdrive. As you can see, he is now reading a book. So I am going to put a bookmark there, and I'm going to go back. I'm not sure how I can do this. Here, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that. And that takes me to his library. This is the library that ordinarily, if he wasn't in the middle of a book, you'd open up and you'd see his library here. He's now reading a Michael Conley book, The Poet. But if he were finished with that, and I should say next to it you'll see a calendar. This little calendar that says 11 on it, that tells you the number of days that he has left to get it back. Most of the ebooks are 14 days borrowing time. So he has 11 days to finish this, and that's not a problem. He finishes books in 2 or 3 days. Now, when it comes time to get a book, and this is important, go to Get Books, and then you see this screen, the Download Depot. There's much stuff on here that can become a pitfall, but in all cases, he is signed in with his card number, and if you start doing different functions up here, he'll get knocked out of that library, and then you'll have to re-enter his library card number and his password. So to avoid that, if you just come to this Advanced Search, which is below the search window, Advanced Search, and click on that, or tap that, now you come to this page, and we simply typically look for an author, and since he's reading a Michael Conley, let's go in and look for Conley. Now, as we come down the page, we want to put a check next to only titles with copies available. Why search the library system for books that we can't borrow? So that's why I check that. And then all you have to do is hit search. Now, you come up with, as you can see, a Patrick Conley, a Kevin Michael Conley, and we have to find more. Had I put in Michael Conley when I searched for authors, I would have gotten a bigger selection. But here, as you can see, there are many. In this line, there's a Fergal Conley, a James J. Conley, a Paul Conley, etc. But I could narrow my choice down by having put in Michael Conley to begin with, which I didn't. So I'll go to the second page, as you just saw, and hopefully find a Michael Conley. So I'll go to page 3. Amazing there are so many Conleys and yet to see a Michael Conley.
Just go back to the search.
Yeah. I will go backwards. Okay, here I am back to my title author page, and I have put in Conley, and so now I will put in Michael Conley, space. And again, I will come down, only titles with copies available,
put Conley.
and search,
You just put Michael, didn't you?
no, search. Okay. Michael Conley. I happen to know that the Harry Bosch novels Tom has already read. But here is Angel's Flight. Now, if I take this second book, he'll have 2 weeks, but the speed with which he reads, it shouldn't make a difference. So I'm going to go through borrowing that from the library. But first, look in the upper right-hand corner. You'll see an icon, a black icon that looks like an open book. Here, you'll see a black icon that looks like earphones. If it has an earphone, it's an audio book. He doesn't prefer those. This is a standard book, print book, and so I will select it. Now, at that point, that's it, Angel's Flight. I'm going to say I want to borrow it. And they're asking me for the library card. And I shouldn't need that. So over here, that you don't want to make that mistake. Don't borrow it. Over here, it says, let me see. I'm thinking I'm going to have to sign in because somebody has already fooled with that. So if you get to that point and you have to sign in, then let me show you something. I'm coming out of Overdrive and I'm going to Notes. And in Notes, all the pertinent notes that apply to this iPad. You can see in the left margin the Apple ID, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Bank of America card, GM card, Fidelity, iPad, Apple, all pertinent information. Here is the Lee County Library System. This is Tom's card number, and that's his PIN number. So that information then you would have to jot down and go back over to Overdrive and go in and start all over again because somehow we got knocked out. So just very quickly, if I'm going to borrow it, do you have your library card?
License?
Wallet. Now, as you remember from the yellow notepad, the PIN number was that. His library card was also there, but if he's not around, and we've got to get in to get another book for him, then we've got to find his library number, which is up there in the notepad, and you could very easily just write the number down, and you would be all set.
Should be able to copy and paste.
Yeah, you could do that also, but now I don't know.
Did you find it?
Here it is. This is the Lee County Library card. So if we go to the back, this is the number here that we need to put in. And we will put it in 2306901388110. And now we will sign in. So The Poet is the book that he's reading now. So I think we'll have to quickly run through this again, advanced search. Now you can see we'll go to author creator. We will come down to there and search. And Angel's Flight was the one we decided to get. I have no idea why it says go to bookshelf. Okay, so I'm going to Angel's Flight, and next to it, it says download, select one format, so there'll be a drop-down screen. I want ePublic ebook right there. And now confirm and download. And it is doing that, and we say download now. And then if I return to the bookshelf, you see that Angel's Flight is there, and notice the calendar. He's got 14 days. He's reading The Poet now. Tomorrow, these little calendar icons, this one will say 10, that one will say 13. So that's how it is done, and it should be pretty straightforward. The only other thing that I can tell you, this little plus sign over here, when Tom is finished reading The Poet, you hit that plus sign, and there'll be an option that pops up to delete and return, and that's what you want to do. So you send that book back. Now he'll start Angel's Flight. When he's finished with that, the plus sign, return it to the library, go in and get another one.
Does he do that on his own, or does Kelly have to keep?
He has been having a little trouble getting used to this function, but he knows half of it, and I think with time he'll be able to do it himself. But just in case, this is your tutorial.
How many minutes or hours do I have, days do I have left with that?
Well, the one you're reading now, you have 11.
11, okay.
And then,
Because there's 7,000 pages on that.
well, I just downloaded another Michael Conley for you. You got 14 days, and that's ticking also. So,
Both kicking.
so you better read. Did you stop that?